Hello, everyone. Happy last Wednesday of July 2022. That's what today is, the absolute last Wednesday of the month. Thank you for your decision to join me tonight. And if it's your first time meeting me, I'm Dr. Twanna Carter, and I am a career transition coach, and I help high achieving professional women overcome that doubt and anxiety that can come with shifting into a new career or to a new position. And I do that by empowering them to recognize and communicate their unique value, and by instilling a deep sense of belief in their own strengths and abilities so that they can confidently and courageously create success on their own terms and pursue a path of purpose that is meaningful to them. So if you can hear me tonight, drop a yes in the comments to make sure that you can hear me, because I've been known to do this on silence. Yeah, that has happened a time or two, maybe three. And so today, if you're here, then you probably saw my ad for this, my announcement for this, why mental fitness is your secret weapon for success, right? That is what we're talking about today. I'm just going to pop over to my other platforms just to be sure that I am, in fact, live. And for those of you who are joining me on Facebook, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those of you that are watching this on LinkedIn, you too are welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that. And for those of you that are looking at this on Twitter and on YouTube, thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me. It's nice to have a secret weapon, right? And sometimes that weapon is so secret that you don't necessarily know you actually have it, or the potential to have it. And that's a great thing about mental fitness, is we can all have it. We can all do it, right? We can do the things, take the steps necessary to build our mental fitness. So it may be a secret weapon, but not because only a few people have it, but rather because we don't always know that we have it. And that's what I'm here to share with you today, right? So I do love comments. Let's see, I have a comment out there. And hopefully the transmission is coming through okay, because my internet seems to want to lag today. Kind of weird. Yes. So Alonzanet says, yes, I am live on LinkedIn and she could hear me. Thank you. I do appreciate that, right? So you may or may not be aware of mental fitness. Most of us hear about mental health quite a bit, right? We're as a society, we're getting better at not penalizing for people who are not mentally healthy at different points in their life, right? So mental fitness is actually something different. It's not the same thing as mental health, right? And so, really, it's a concept that's been gaining traction just in recent years, and it's for a good reason. Why? Because mental fitness improves our ability to accomplish goals as well as to enjoy life, right? It can be achieved by anybody. There's no secret like, oh, this group can get it, but this can't. No, if you're willing to put in the work and you're willing to do the task and you're willing to take your time, invest the time in yourself, you can get your mental fitness, right? You can live your dreams, you can be healthy. That's what it's all about. So therefore, that's why I gave it the name, that secret weapon that you need. That it is, sometimes it's secret because it's just sitting there and everybody's like, what is that? So yes. So what's the definition of mental fitness? Let me ask you this. How many people have heard of mental fitness? If you have heard of, you've heard about it, even if you know what it is, um, that is so sweet. Thank you, Jenny. Jenny says, thank you for your positivity. So if you are familiar with mental fitness, you're working on building your mental fitness, drop me in the comments. So let me know that, yeah, I know this thing, mental fitness, definitely know that. Some people do, some people don't, right? Because some people hear the mental part and then they run, but this is it's not that, right? This is a way that you can actually live the life that you want. So Just waiting. I know it's a couple of seconds for it to catch up, right? But again, if you, and even if you catch this on the replay and you've heard of mental fitness, yeah, drop yes in the comments. I always circle back to read the comments when I do live, right? When I do my live. So the definition of mental fitness, and this is according to 𝐲𝐨𝐻𝐻, which I stalked him, social media stalked him for a while. I really, for about 2 or 3 years, I actually did because I wanted to become a positive intelligence mental fitness coach. And so he finally did the training, and I am so happy to be there. And so he's a founder of Positive Intelligence. And so he defines mental fitness as your capacity to respond to life's challenges with a positive mindset rather than a negative mindset. That's it. That's all. It is your ability, your capacity when something happens, right? It's a challenge that happens in life. It is your ability to respond with a positive mindset because you don't get stuck versus with a negative mindset. This always happens to me. I knew it couldn't be true. I can never do this. See, that's a negative mindset. But when you build your mental fitness, you actually are able to respond with the positive mindset. So, benefits of mental fitness, one is not being afraid to fail, right? Sometimes folks, sometimes, we're, and I was like this. I was very risk averse for about the first 35 or so years of my life. But the thing is, I remember being so afraid to fail that I wouldn't take risks that would have been beneficial to me, right? I was too afraid of failing. So I sat in about the same space in life going along, just kind of existing because I was too afraid to take that risk because I didn't want to fail. And here's the thing about risk: you take small risks, you get small benefits. You take larger risks, you get larger benefits. But for those of us that are afraid to fail, we get no benefits because we're too afraid to fail, right? When you build your mental fitness, you know that failure is just a necessary part of success. Look at the Walt Disney story. How many times he fell before he got it? Hershey, how many times he fell before he got it? Look at all the folks that do software programming, right? They fail pretty much on a day-to-day basis because they program and it doesn't work, quote unquote fail. Then they debug and then go back at it, quote unquote fail, over and over. But they understand that going back over and over, that's where you get the benefits, right? So Jeannie says yes. Okay, yes, that's where the benefits come in, right? So they have changed my asthma medication, and unfortunately, one of the side effects is a cough, and then I get the hoarse like a frog is in my throat. Of course, I used to do that all the time because I have social anxiety, but this time it is medication induced, right? So my apologies up front. But yeah, mentally fit people are not afraid to take risks because they know that comes with the territory, right? It comes with taking the territory. You take a chance, you fail, you go back, you look at it like it's not failure, it's feedback. What is feedback? What is that failure telling you? What feedback is it giving you? And then you go back at a different way. It is a way to increase your abilities to do things, to increase your self-efficacy. That's your belief that you can get things accomplished, right? Mentally fit people are also not afraid to be vulnerable. They know that their weaknesses can be conquered through consistently trying to do something, understanding and persevering. So there's really no reason not to open up and try, right? So I see a Facebook user. Let's pop over there. I don't know if you hit the um, the comment button, um, but I just see aisle, so I'm not sure what the aisle is. Let me know what that's about, Lisa. Okay, all right. So yes, it's taking the risk. Once you build your mental fitness, you can take the necessary risk, right? We're not talking about dangerous risk. We're talking about calculated risk, the things that you can do to make your life better in the long run, right? Benefit number two, being mentally fit allows you to stay focused on your goal rather than becoming so caught up in the obstacles. But if I do that and it goes wrong, or what if that goes wrong over there? But what if? No, when you're mentally fit, right, you can actually achieve your goals because you can focus on the big picture, right? You don't get caught up in all the little minute details and obstacles along the way. Oftentimes, when you get caught up in the minute details, you become overwhelmed, right? And that overwhelm can leave you feeling just overwhelmed, like you can't do it. Also, overwhelm can cause you to procrastinate, right? Because you're looking at all the myriad of things that could go wrong, so you never really take out to take action and focus on what you really need to do, right? Which again, you can become discouraged, you become frustrated. Instead, you can look at when you're mentally fit, you built that mental fitness, you can look at how far you come, and you know how far you got to go, but you know that you've gotten somewhere with it without being afraid that if I do this, this is going to go wrong. If I do that, that'll go wrong. Or if I do this, they're going to talk about me. If I do this, they're going to make fun of me. If I do this, I'm going to fail. I totally get that, because again, I have social anxiety, and I spent so many years of my life living in this space, being afraid and only looking at all the obstacles and being afraid to do anything. So my success was limited, right? So when you're mentally fit, you can actually focus on what's good in life rather than what's bad. Okay. Does that sound like a good thing? Being able to focus on what's good in life rather than what's on the bad. I asked that question because again, I spent so many years only looking at the bad, right? I was that person that if something good actually happened to me, I would just kind of pivot away and just sit and wait for the bad thing, because that was a mindset. If something good happens, then something bad has to happen to me. And it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because I would only look for the bad stuff. Oh, there's the bad stuff. I knew it was coming. Yep, that's why I don't do this, and that's why I don't try. That's why I don't take risks, and that's why I want to play it safe. But still, it was living a less than life. So being mentally fit helps you get the fullness of life, right? And so, number three, mental fitness enables you, when you build it, it helps you to be able to exist and be uncomfortable, right? We know that when we're in our comfort zone, most of us are like totally fine, like, cool, I'm here. We might even be unhappy, but if it's comfortable, a lot of people do stay in jobs. That's why people will stay in jobs 5, 10, 15, 20 years and they're unhappy, because it's comfortable, and they will just stay and be unhappy and be unfulfilled. But when you build your mental fitness, you're able to exist in that space where you're uncomfortable. And we're not like talking extremely uncomfortable, but you do have to become somewhat uncomfortable. Leave your comfort zone so you can enter into the growth zone, right? Mental fitness allows you to do that. It allows you to deal with discomfort, right? But it's also about being able to accept the fact that you're going to feel uncomfortable, and that's okay. It's okay, right? And so it's a wonderful thing when you get there. And accepting the fact that you're going to feel uncomfortable at times is part of what it means to have mental fitness. It's accepting that things won't always go your way, even if you plan, even if you put in months of planning, years of planning, but you're still prepared. Whichever way things go, you know that you're mentally fit and you're very prepared, right? Wonderful thing. Anybody out there, does this resonate with you? Let me know if this is resonating with you, right? Drop a yes in the comments for me if it's resonating with you. All right. So that third thing, mental fitness allows you to continue on even when you don't necessarily feel like it. Sometimes I work with folks who have depression. And oftentimes people that have depression, sometimes they don't feel like getting up in the morning. I don't feel like eating. I don't feel like getting dressed. I don't feel like talking to people, right? And I'll be honest, with social anxiety and being an introvert, I don't feel like talking to people all the time. But building your mental fitness allows you to still perform even when you don't feel like it, right? And that's a wonderful thing too. So Lisa says yes. She says it's resonating. Absolutely. Appreciate the comment, Lisa. So yeah, mental fitness is the ability to push past barriers that you perceive as insurmountable, right? Rather than looking at the mountain going, I'll never be able to climb that. You know that I don't have to climb it at one time. I can go and climb the part that's right here and keep going, right? It's about going beyond what your body and mind and your emotions tell you. It's not just about training your mind to stay focused on a task, but it's also about knowing when to scale back, because that's important, or when to move on because something is or isn't worth it. Some things you do need to pull back, right? You do need to pull back. Absolutely, pull back. Mhm. That's the correct thing to do, because when you started, it was a good idea. Situations change, things are different. Sometimes you need to shift, sometimes do it a little differently, sometimes pull back, take that energy and put it somewhere else. Mental fitness will help you. You can do that. So you continue on again, even when you don't feel like it, or this is changing, I don't want to change. You're able to change when you have that mental fitness built up to its capacity, right? How many times have you felt like you just, I can't do this again? You just felt like you kind of worn out, you're tired, and you just wanted to give up, right? It might be a difficult workout at the gym. Maybe it's a project that you've just been doing for a minute. You're like, I'm done with this. I just don't want to see it anymore. Maybe it's working on, like a presentation. You're like, I've been working, I'm just tired. I just want to rest. For those of you who run marathons, you probably felt the same way, but you train for it, you build your fitness up to a certain level, and you go on anyway. That's what building your mental fitness will do for you, right? You go on because it's just this fire in your belly, right? And someone made a mention today that oftentimes people wait until their mental fitness or their mental health is like taking a nosedive and things are going bad, right? That's what's great about mental fitness. Number one, anybody can build it. Anybody can. You can increase it, right? And it's not just for folks who have mental illness. Mental fitness is for everybody, adults, children, young children, adolescents, older folks. Mental fitness is for everyone. And that's what's important about it, because we all need that ability to carry on. We are in challenging times. This whole COVID thing has been challenging for the last 3 months, right? There's some people who have just kind of given up and fallen to the wayside. Like, I can't deal with this anymore, right? That's a lack of mental fitness, which is actually why I'm doing this now, because I've run into so many people that feel like they're so stressed that they're about up to here, that some days the water is here, they kind of pull their head back trying to get it down. Well, if you build your mental fitness, the feeling that the water is here will start to recede, right? That's the importance, okay? And so I think we're on number 4. Being mentally fit, another benefit of being mentally fit, you can control your emotions. All right, I'm going to raise my hand on this one. I am much better now than I used to be, but at one point, I kind of, like they said, wear your emotions on your sleeve, right? I would be so embarrassed because I had social anxiety. I would be so embarrassed by situations or things that my eyes would tear up and I would just want to bawl. Right? It was only a sense of pride that I didn't let the tears drop, but I might disappear and go to a restroom or go to a room and take the napkins or paper towel and stick them right here in the corners of my eyes and hold it and cry so that the napkin just kind of whisked everything away. Anybody else do that? Is it just me, or anybody else out there that's done that before? Right? And I wanted to be able to control my emotions. I really did. That's the thing about mental fitness, right? You can control your emotions, and being able to control your emotions is key. Mental fitness is not about having bad emotions, it's not about having any emotions. It is about being able to control, right? Being able to control it, so that whether it's fear, whether it's anxiety, whether it's embarrassment, whether it's anger, you can actually, controlling it affects your mental fitness, and the mental fitness allows you, right, to make the decisions, take the steps so that you can control those emotions. So fear might lead you to making irrational decisions, right? And I know for me, fear, I didn't make irrational decisions. I made no decisions. I just tried to play it safe, but that's still living a less than life. So fear may make you make irrational decisions or avoid taking a risk altogether. That was me, right? Anxiety can get in the way of making plans or meeting new people, right? And anger can lead to destructive behavior. Well, whether that's yelling and screaming at someone, or if you, like, I had an anger management problems, and most of the people that truly know me or knew me, they would never say in the world I had an anger management problem. My anger management was tamped down, and it was destructive to my own body, right? So some people's like, yeah, I have anger management, I'll push that stuff down. You're being destructive to your own body, right? So it's not about pushing. Mental fitness is not about pushing emotions down or hiding them. It's teaching you to manage them and control them, so you're not being destructive outwardly, but you're also not being destructive inwardly. right? And so, again, it's not about experiencing all these different emotions, but rather about controlling them so that they are not. So I don't know about you, but the times I've gotten mad and done some really stupid things, right? Immediately afterwards, there's just this wave of guilt. Like, why did I say that? Why did I do that? Right? Wouldn't it be nice to have a way to, before you do the stupid thing, stop yourself? Right? Anybody resonate with that? Just not do the stupid thing in the first place. Yes, build that mental fitness and you can actually be there, right? And so, next benefit of mental fitness is positive thinking. You probably heard that positive thinking really is an important component of mental fitness, but it's not just about thinking positive or just the false positivity or toxic positivity that we kind of got in. A lot of us got into with COVID. But positive thinking is actually a skill. It's a habit. It's a choice, one that you can make every day, but one you can build the skill, and that's what's important. Okay, we're not talking toxic positivity here. If it's raining outside, and we're gonna say, yeah, it's raining, but you can still look at that rain with a different mindset, with a positive mindset, and think positively rather than saying, yeah, my day is ruined because it's raining, right? Positive mindset, negative mindset, right? Positive thinking, negative thinking. And really, when you're talking about the first step of mastering the skills for the positive thinking is realizing that it is a skill in the first place. So yes, right, it's easy to think positive thoughts when things are going great, but it's when stuff hits the fan that you need to maintain those positive thoughts. And even for some of us, and guilty of this, even when things were going well for me, again, you heard me say that I felt something bad had to happen. So I was, you start to imagine all the bad stuff that was coming. And so, really, when you're able to manage those positive thoughts, rather than waiting for bad, you're consistently looking for the good, looking for the positive, looking for the better, right? Whether it's for yourself or someone else. It's about being optimistic more times than you are pessimist, right? And you really do have, we all do, we have everything inside of us that we need for success. We just got to understand it, right? And mental fitness is one of the ways. Building your mental fitness is one of the ways that you can do that. Okay, so really we're talking about mental fitness helps you accomplish more than just your passions or your goals, but you experience more joy in life, right? When you can look out with a positive mindset. And so, yeah, good example was I ordered new flooring for my house in March, right? In March, way back in March 2022. And so I was getting ready to get it prepared so I can rent it. So here it is, a couple of days from August, not here, right? But that not being here, I could have taken a negative thought process about it. I could have went down to the store and jumped in. I gotta say, Hills Carpeting in Bessemer, Alabama, and Hills Carpeting in Helena, Alabama, they are wonderful people. And he was like, "You're really understanding." I He was kind of like puzzled, like you're so very understanding. Yeah, it's understanding when you build that mental fitness. When things don't go your way, you can still have a positive mindset. I've been able to get other things done that I wouldn't normally have gotten done, right? But that's the thing about building that mental fitness is you can react differently. You can control it. I don't know y'all, but my phone over here is buzzing off the hook. That's my sister trying to get me. So hopefully y'all can hear that. I'll call her back in a few minutes, right? But it's about really mental fitness is about learning those new skills, gaining the capacity to build, right? And how many of you out there self sabotage? I was seeing self sabotage for about the first 35 years of my life, right? Mental fitness actually will help you resolve the self sabotaging, the negative thought processes. For those of you who are anger management, it helps you to manage that as well, right? It allows you to just do more things in life because you're in a positive mindset and you're just joyful. It doesn't mean that everything is going your way, but however it's going, you can still have more joy, right? And that's what's important. So the importance of building your mental fitness is you're able to reach peak performance more consistently and stay there. And it's not just about work, right? And some folks are athletes. Mental fitness is great for being, building that as well. but it's also about increasing your peace of mind and your wellness. That's worth it in that statement right there. Okay. Because sometimes we can get so caught up in achieving that when we do achieve, we're not satisfied with the achievement because we're trying to find something else to go after, find something else to go after, find. And then you look back, you've got these awards and you've got the salary, you have the house, you have the car, you have all the vacations, and you're still unhappy. I know a lot of folks is like, but I got everything I worked for, but I'm still unhappy. Build your mental fitness so that you have joy in what you have. It's not always about accomplishing. You can just have joy for who you are and what you are. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is priceless, right? And then finally, with mental fitness, you can build and maintain healthy relationships, right? Because it's connected as we are by social media. Folks are really struggling to build healthy relationships. It is a struggle. So building your mental fitness will help with building healthy relationships. It may actually help you kick a few of the other ones out that you don't really need as well. I'm just saying, right? So, all right. And so I am currently enrolling for my positive intelligence mental fitness program. So what is that? It's a 7-week intense program that will help you identify your saboteurs that cause faulty thinking and negative thinking, right? You will also discover the root causes of sabotage. And also, you will build those 3 core muscles of mental fitness: that saboteur receptor, that sage muscle, and the self command muscle. And really, again, this is not about you're never going to experience a negative situation in life again. No, this is about building those 3 core muscles: that saboteur receptor, interceptor, that sage, and that self command, so that you're responding with the positive mindset, right? And you're able to think those positive thoughts, and rather than getting down. And I know a lot of people say negative Nancy, and I was trying to find a negative name the other way, like negative, I guess negative Nicholas, negative Nikki, you know. But rather getting stuck consistently in those negative thoughts, positive intelligence mental fitness program helps you build that up, right? And so if you're listening to this and you're thinking like, yes, I would like to reach, it's time for me to reach my peak performance. It's time for me to be happy, not always chasing down a goal, but to have more joy, to have that wellness and that peace of mind. And you're thinking, yes, I want to have healthy relationships. Comment below with secret weapon, and I'll send you some information on that positive intelligence mental fitness coaching program. It is a wonderful thing. I've been doing it now for about 2 years, right? And here's a great thing about it. If you are successful but can't figure out why you're not happy, then this program is for you. If you're struggling with self-sabotage, if you're struggling with overwhelm, if you're consistently struggling trying to build healthy relationships, can't figure out what's going on, this program is for you. It is for everybody. And there are folks, and I don't have any on my case, but there are people who do this program for children because it's that successful. It's been researched with over 500,000 people. Quite a few elite athletes, executives do this, and now anybody can do this. So again, if you're still here and this is resonating with you, drop secret weapon in the comments. I'll circle back and send you more information. And those of you, again, who catch this on the replay, same thing, drop secret weapon in the comments, and I'll circle back to you and send you more information on the positive intelligence mental fitness coaching program. I am so grateful that you guys hung in there with me all this time. Thank you for your comments. I'm just going to circle back to be sure I haven't missed a comment. Right? Let's see. I'm going to check out here to be sure I haven't missed a thing. So I am here this time each and every Wednesday, right? I've only missed, nope, I take it back. I think I've missed 2. One because I had a dental appointment, and then one because I went to Hawaii to have fun. But yeah, that part. So typically I'm here every Wednesday, and I would love for you to join me every Wednesday. You can catch the replays on LinkedIn. You can also catch the replays on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, under Twanna Carter. It's also on my Twitter page, as well as in my Facebook group. Thanks for joining, and I will catch you all back here next Wednesday.